Hey everybody, it's Happy Colin and Fairly Happy Steve. We're back again after a week of non being around. Did you miss us?
Yeah,
Did you miss us?
of course they missed us.
Of course,
Why wouldn't they?
of course they missed us. That's the question that we're answering right now for you guys alone. But the other question is why? Why did you miss us? And that question is answered in a statement that I'm just ad libbing right now.
A pre-prepared
A
statement.
pre prepared statement. Yeah. Um yeah, it's just been really busy for our schedule and we've slowly whittled down our backlog of episodes that we can put out. So essentially reached the limit of that. But we got a new plan coming to you right now
Mm-hmm.
where we have a plan.
We do.
I'm convincing the nation here.
Okay.
All right. Uh,
Okay.
do you want to run with the plan, Steve? You got all the info.
I can. I'll give the high level.
Mm-hmm.
Is that as you've mentioned that things have just been insanely busy recently, which has made recording really difficult. Um, we've been away for a week on the main feed for Who's That Anime, and we've been away for a little bit longer for 5 Minute Fusion. So the plan is I think we should be able to get back to normal schedule for Who's That Anime.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be back on one episode a week, and that should be okay. We are going to be taking a hiatus for 5 Minute Fusion for just over a month, probably until about June, to try and just get back on top of things. We did have a backlog of stuff that we were able to release, but just due to other commitments and things, we've just lost all of that backlog, which has made things incredibly difficult. So that's the start of it. The other part is that I think what we're going to try to do is we probably won't release as many episodes of 5 Minute Fusion every week. We're probably going to cut that back from 5 episodes to 3 episodes to make that more manageable for us. Because right now it is, as you can imagine, releasing 6 episodes of a podcast a week while also maintaining a job each is quite tough, you know. So we're going to try and do our best to get back on track, put a more realistic schedule in place that hopefully allows us to maintain that. This is like last year. I don't think we missed a single release.
No.
So we pretty much, I think we released over 300 episodes or something last year alone, which was kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And yeah, we tried to keep up that momentum, but it has been a tough start to the year, and that just hasn't been possible. So that being said, not all bad news. Just kind of laying a little bit of the expectation for you all that we're going to still try and do as much as we can, but we're going to cut back a little bit until we get a good lay of the land in terms of, I suppose, like how much time we have to be able to do this. Hopefully this new schedule is maintainable, and if it is, then great. If not, then we'll maybe be back talking to you about something different in a few months' time, but hopefully not. Hopefully, instead, we'll just be able to make this work. But probably easier to be open and honest and upfront about it.
Yep. We'll literally just decide on the plan to stay afloat for the next wee while.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So anyway, we're here on our second episode for Delicious in Dungeon.
yeah,
I've been trying to say that name because
I was gonna say to make sure you say the name
yeah.
and not anything else.
Yeah, because I've been saying delicious in me for whatever reason all night. I was like, why?
You
Why?
tried.
I tried, but it's delicious in dungeon.
It is delicious in
Essos
dungeon.
3 and 4.
Yeah, episodes 3 and 4. Um, and uh, these were both pretty good episodes. I enjoyed both of them. Again, still, my wife is watching these with me, so she's quite enjoying it as much as she can. When you don't really watch a lot of anime outside of Studio Ghibli.
Mhm.
But our first episode up that we're going to talk about today is episode 3, Living Armor, which
Yeah.
is interesting because actually one of the things that's quite interesting about these next two episodes, or this next episode, is that it's a singular title.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's all about living armor, man.
A lot to talk about with the Living Armor.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Not a lot to talk about the main character. This,
No,
yeah. Okay.
but this one starts off with they're kind of like traveling deeper down into the dungeon,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, what the hell's his name? That's terrible. What's his name? The little
Oh,
stealthy steely man, Chilchuck.
Bill Chuck. Yep.
Chilchuck is using Laios' sword to like smash in the wall
Yeah.
to find the weak spot to open it up, which it does. But what it also does is loses like the little charm he had attached to the hilt.
Yeah, they had the little crest on it.
Yeah,
On the hilt.
yeah.
Um,
And that was apparently from the days gone by with his sister.
yeah. So it's like the first when they started the first adventure. They joined the gold seeking team, or because the city was partly full of gold back in the day, and
Mm-hmm.
they joined the party who was off to find the gold, and they went deeper into the dungeon. Which sister was like, "Oh, we're not really trained to fight monsters yet," and so they go down and find some living armor. And leader of the party kind of gets the sword thrusted through his throat. Yeah, there you go.
Holy shit!
That's an image.
That actually, my wife immediately went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, like I did wonder when this was gonna like get a bit more violent because it does warn you like that there's some stuff in this show."
Yeah.
And so far I hadn't really seen it, but yeah, man, that was a that's a rough death for that guy.
Yeah. So Leonardo kind of came alive, and Linus, is it?
Laios
Laios.
or Laos,
I want to call him Linus.
you can do that.
Like Leos. Yeah, he was attacking with his sword, and his sword broke off their sword. And like, oh no! And then someone saved him, I think. And then the sword got dropped by the monster, and he got the sword from the living armor. Uh, and then he died. And so that was my first death.
Yeah, and I did turn to my wife at the point. It was like we did mention at some point like some people have died before and come back, right? And she's like, I think that was mentioned before.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was, right?
Yeah, we did mention it before in the last episode. Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So that was my first death. And an elf lady was like, "Oh, so it's a memento of your death then? Great." And then
Yes, effectively, it is a reminder of his untimely death.
he mentions, "Oh, that's like I couldn't go next to any armor for a long time. It freaked me out." I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty traumatizing getting killed by a suit of armor, right?
I feel like it's relatively acceptable to feel uncomfortable being next to the thing that killed you.
Yeah, I think that's
Like
fair.
that's probably okay, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good reason to have trauma. Um,
Yeah, fair.
but then I think he pretty much comes away with a quick daydream. Was like, I wonder what they taste like.
Yeah, he goes into his sort of like creepy fetish trance
Yeah,
that he does when he's like super into the idea. It's like, oh, but what if we ate them?
yeah. I think
And
Chill Truck looked at him and was like, oh, there's his eyes again.
yeah, and Marcial's like, what?
Yeah,
No. And even Senshi's like, no, like, I don't think you want to eat metal. And
yeah,
he's like, oh no, like, but what about like the leather? And he's like, leather's real tough to chew. What's wrong with you?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
They're not super into the idea.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, they continue down to the dungeon, and lo and behold, they find like a whole haul of living armor.
Yep.
And then they're like, "All right, cool. It's living armor. We'll just like sneak by them and get to the other side because we've got to go through this way." So you go in, and then living armor kind of comes alive regardless of um regardless of where they're going. It's like, and then, so they retreat and go. That's unusual. They usually only attack when you get close to them. Should also should also mention that everyone tells them that they're magical creatures and have nothing in them.
Yes. It's like, but what if it's something inside them? It's like, no, they're not. They're just magic.
Yeah,
Just don't. Just it's fine. And he's like, oh, okay.
disappointing.
And yeah, these ones seem to be particularly aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And chase them out of that room. Uh,
Yeah. So
and then then they have the conversation. So 3 of us are going to distract you because they all crowded around that door.
Mhm.
They clearly were like covering whatever was in there.
yeah,
We should 3 of us should get in there and distract it, and one of us can sneak round.
yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, I was kind of hoping that would be you, Chill Chuck." And he's like, "No, being stealthy for things that can't see is not really useful."
yeah. Well, that's it. It was they all stared at him at this point, and he's like, "What?
Yeah, yeah,
What? Oh, it's going to be you. I can sneak, but I can't fight. So it's going to be
yeah.
you. You got to fight the thing in the end because they're thinking it's like the necromancer or something that controlling them.
Yes, the puppet master,
Yeah,
who is puppeteering these living suits of armor.
yeah. So they do that, and he sneaks along the wall, sneak, as
Yep,
as they do, and he gets into the door, and he sees another suit of armor with a lion face and a shield.
it's a cool suit of armor.
It's a good suit of armor, big boss suit of armor style.
Yeah, he does immediately say, "He's like this one." This one seems like this might be tougher than the others.
Yeah, he does. Um,
So if the rules of a video game have ever taught me anything, it's that slightly upgraded version of what was in the room before is probably stronger.
yeah. I mean, if it's a different color, that's generally the way I go.
Oh god, even worse.
Yeah, good old palette palette swap.
Yep, Streets of Rage logic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yellow signals, green signals, they're all the same really.
Uh,
Just with different health bars.
Bigger health bars.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's there, and he's fighting the thing. He goes to attack, and it smashes his sword. Oh no, that's great.
I'm screwed.
I'm screwed. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I don't know. He manages to hide from it.
Yeah, he gets behind one of the pillars,
Mhm.
And then realizes he's like, oh, when I went to strike there, it moved its shield behind it. Why would it do that?
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, because it's guarding something.
yeah, and it
And
it shows the shield, and you see it's like a ball
yes,
thing. So I've seen that, and then it shows like a weird animation when he's a kid with his sister running with a stick,
and they've got snot flying everywhere.
and they've got snot flying everywhere, and it's all kind of
Yeah.
like complete different art style where it's all wavy and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like
That's what,
all psychedelic and mental.
yeah. As I know, that's an egg. Why has it got an egg? And then he like,
It's a good question.
I think he then finds a brick and knocks its head off, and then steals the helmet.
Uh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, yeah. Right, right. This is it. This is it. I'm going to do that. Knock the helmet off, and then he notices that it can't see. It doesn't know where it's looking at because he's hiding behind the pillar again, and he's like looking at the thing. It's like, no, there's nothing in here. I can't see
Yeah,
it.
because he says, "Oh, I'm screwed now,"
Yeah,
and then it just kind of like walks over to a pole and goes, "Ugh."
yeah,
It's like, huh? That's not where I am. Why can't it see me?
yeah. And then he finds that there's a wee hatch between the armor, like a wee slither between the armor, and he's like, oh, all this like ka-chink. And then just like random tentacles appeared, and then he was like, stab. I was like, it's dead. And then
It is now dead.
then the armor's like, oh, I'll just go back. I can't.
Yep.
I can't see anything. Because he also was like saying, actually, when they attacked us, they turned their heads
They
to look,
turned.
to look at us,
That's right.
so they must be able to see.
Which still doesn't make sense, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, not really.
I mean, it's logic is he wants to eat them.
I mean, his logic is sound.
It is now.
Because effectively, yeah, what he's found out as he finds that one, he realizes, there must be spaces in between all the armor. So he starts like tearing the armor to bits and pinning it down,
Yeah,
and he realizes, yeah, actually, it's not a puppet. It's not well, it is a puppet, but it's not a magical puppet.
no,
It's not anyone doing this to the armor.
yeah,
The armor itself is actually lined with, I guess they call them like mollusk type things.
yeah, yeah. It's basically like clams, mollusks. They all kind of stick to the thing and clam up because he was on about the seal is quite tight and you have to pry it open just like a clam
Yep.
or mollusk.
That's right, yeah, just like a mollusk shell, clam shell. And then he's like, well, hey guys, I found a thing. And then he picks up the shield and lobs it into the room that they're in. And all of the other armor goes, huh?
Yeah.
Turns around and follows it.
Yep. I'll leg for it. Because they're starting to scream because we're getting a bit overwhelmed here, and yeah, they're fighting.
There's some cool fight scenes in this because we get to see like Chilchuck like use some like close up explosive bombs and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
And
Senshi hits some things with an axe.
yeah, I think when they first came in, Linus and Senji do like a double team on one.
They do.
Yeah.
They take the helmet off and take the arm off and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that was
It's pretty cool.
still not enough.
No.
Aye, so they got them into the room, and I was like, "Look, it's living things, man. We can eat this." Senji, do your best to kick it up. It's like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, it's like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
But he cooks it in many different ways.
Yeah.
So he like uses it. He like steams one of them in the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a soup broth with one.
Yep.
And the other one he grills in the armor plates.
Yeah, he grills in the armor plates. Because it was like, what is this? How are we going to cook this? And he was like, well, I think it's be like a shellfish type thing.
Yeah.
Because you had to pry them open and kill them. Because I think they all kind of like carved out got them out the armor.
Yep.
And
they all stare at him very intently here.
yeah.
And he's like, why are you looking at me like that? And it's like, well, no one's ever eaten this before, so go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, and he's got one of the grilled ones, and he just like lobs it down, and it's like, oh,
yep.
Didn't taste anything like first, and then it was good. The hit.
But it's the bit he immediately bends double, and they're like, oh my god, how quickly does poison happen?
Yeah, they take all the internal organs out, well, just in case.
Yeah,
Um,
just in
and it's
case.
like, no, it's delicious. And then
Yeah.
and then I think Chilchuck and Elf.
Well, Chilchuck and Marcel, I think Marcel has the soup,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Chilchuck and Senshi both have the grilled one as well.
Yeah, but
And they eat it and they're like, it's fine. And then she tries the broth and she's like, it's actually pretty good.
yeah,
Um,
but she,
and
they both kind of like talking like to each other. Like, how long does food poison take effect? You know, and then Senji just like goes, oh well, let's try it, and then he takes his and says, oh,
just
it's alright.
shouts bottoms up and goes for it, doesn't he?
Yeah, pretty much. And then tells the other ones to not waste their food, and then I think that was it. I think that's the end of the episode.
He tries the one in the helmet,
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Oh no, that's terrible."
tastes of mold, and it's like,
Yes.
and Senshi was, oh, it's probably steamed all the old armor juice into it.
What a horrible thought.
Yeah,
The end of the episode is them all sort of getting prepared to go, and Laios getting a new sword and picking it up, and Marcel being like, "Hey, is that you want me to check if that's cursed?" And he's looking at it, and actually, there's one of the little mollusk things living in the hilt,
yeah.
and he's like, "No, no, don't look at it. It's fine. I could. It's all good." She's like, "Okay, you can tell it's cursed or not. Whatever."
Yeah. Aye, that's because yeah, he gets it from the boss fight. Gets the new axe from the
Yep.
boss fight.
And then the narrator's like, "Well, they didn't realize that they had a fifth person
Yeah,
hanging about with them now."
yeah. Can't remember to start with the narration. Anyway,
Yeah, I just remember the delicious. It truly is delicious in dungeon, even though it probably doesn't say that every time. I just have it in my head that that's how every episode ends now.
why not? Oh man,
Yeah,
that's pretty good, man. It's pretty mental. It just shows you how mad Linus is. Linus, Linny.
you're straying further from the light on that.
Yeah, Lininosaurus.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you rate this one?
It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice.
Yep. Yeah.
So 8. I'm gonna say an 8.
I think an 8 is very fair. It's very fun.
Yeah.
And it does have that, like, I must admit, when that sword went through that guy's neck, I did kind of go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
It's like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. That's right in them.
Yeah, that guy's dead.
Yeah. Proper, because
Yeah,
it's like
right the way through.
right the way through,
No saving him.
right to the hilt.
I have been watching a guy on YouTube called Dr. Mike,
Mm-hmm.
who he like watches medical shows and says how accurate they are.
Oh yeah.
But one of the things he's been doing is watching anime injuries and being like, "Oh god, that person's dead. That's not how that works,"
Yeah. Yeah.
which has been quite fun. But he watched a series. I need to see if I can find it now. It's something as Azuko MD.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think I saw.
Amaku MD.
Yeah. Where it's basically she's a detective. To like
It's
work.
basically House,
Yeah.
but she's a little anime girl.
Yeah. She's detecting her way into like getting results.
Yeah, like she's a like the one he watched was like, oh, and the guy his blood's blue, and then he died, and the reason he died was because his leg got bit off by a T-Rex, but the T-Rex was dead, and the blood was blue because of the poisoning here. And it's like, wow, this is House. I love it. So I'm probably gonna watch that at some point and enjoy it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Sounds like good fun.
That sounds pretty crazy.
Well, on that, we go into our next episode, episode 4, which has 2 episode titles, 2 segments: Stewed Cabbage and Orcs.
You Cabbage and Orcs.
Yeah.
Not at the same
So
time.
this, not at the same time. So this is the one where it starts off with them heading down into, like the bit where he's been keeping to himself.
Saji, yeah.
Senshi, like he's in
Yeah.
the middle. The upper floor is where he wants to be most of the time.
Mhm.
The lower floors is where the dangerous hunting can go on, but he hangs about there because this is where he keeps his stash.
Yeah. So they're down, I think level 4 or something.
At level 3, the 3rd floor.
Was it level 3?
I think so.
That's 4. Anyway, they're down this level of the dungeon, and it kind of starts off, and it's just like Linus. I'm gonna call him Linus again. He's just like going, "That's a zombie. That's humans. That's a golem. Oh, you don't go. Oh, you go
Yeah.
that way. There's like a bunch of golems that way. Let's go this way." And they're like, "How do you recognize all these sounds? Oh, this sounds completely different. A zombie, human, different.
Who knows
Skeletons."
this stuff?
And then Senji,
Senshi.
basically says, "Oh, I need to go to my hold up, get some stuff and do some things." It's like, all right, cool. So he goes there, and then it's like, right, let's go and find those golems. As he puts a gardening hat on. I love how he puts the gardening hat on over his helmet.
You gotta love Senshi.
And he's got his horn sticking out the gardening hat. And then golems. Oh, yeah. You don't.
Like he opens the big doors and then just does a whistle, and then 3 giant golems appear, and you're like, oh, what? Why?
Yeah. Well, Marcel is basically telling them all the evils of golems and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's not thrilled about this,
Oh.
but effectively,
It's because
no, go on.
It's because she was trying to convince Linus not to, you can't eat golems.
Yeah, because they're 99% dirt.
Yeah.
What's that extra 1%? We'll find out.
Yeah. You can't you can't go eat golems. Aww.
It's like, but turns out what's actually been happening is that these are in fact kind of Senshi's pet golems to a degree, and what he does is he fells them, removes their core that binds them, and then he's actually been growing vegetables on the back of them.
Yeah.
Which is actually super, super cool.
Yeah. It's like, that's really good. They keep vegetable plots good. It's like has an accurate water source and all this other stuff that helps grows the vegetables without any issues.
Well,
Down
he talks
in the
about
dungeon.
Is it? Yeah, I was gonna say, is it Laios that says like are there like parasites to the golems? And he's like, no, it's actually more of like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Because the more the veg grow, the stronger they actually make the golems.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
But
he does mention that there used to be 7 of them, right? And now there's only 3 left.
10, I think.
Was it 10 to start?
Yeah, now there's sort of 3 left. Because he says they also are pretty good for keeping the stronger monsters at bay from coming up.
That's right. Yeah, he's basically keeping the adventurers on the upper floors safe by having these golems.
Yeah, Marcel's a bit like, you can't be keeping golems. This, just against the law.
This is illegal.
Yeah,
this is illegal.
It's an illegal golem farm.
It is a bit wild, like when you think about it. When she said it, I was like, this does seem like there's like some sort of moral issue here.
There's a bit, because you don't ever find out what the 1% is. So it's
true. Oh well, no, you do technically.
You do. And he goes around and he runs up the golems and like easily dislodges all of them, and they're like, how does he know where the cores are? And then that's when I think it clicks with Marcel. It's like, you can't be doing this. This is illegal.
It's like, this is wrong.
Yeah,
Wrong, Senshi.
wrong. So, I don't care. And then she goes.
He does not.
So
He does not care.
so they go and replant, harvest all everything, replant everything, in the pile of dirt that the columns come once he removes the cores. And then Marcel goes for the toilet, and they're like, "All right, well, guys, to help me with one last thing, while she's away in the toilets," and he replants the cores back into the golden soil, and they don't come back alive instantaneously. It'll take a while, but
No.
it's good. And they go like, "Why don't you just live up on top? It's like you get the sunlight and you get your farming. It'll be easier." It's like, "Oh well, I can't be doing that. I've got duties and chores to do down here."
Yeah, he's like part of the ecosystem of the dungeon.
Oh yeah, because Marcel comes by and it's like, the toilets down here are always so clean and wonderful, and he's like, yeah, I know, type thing. "Hey, excuse me, I got to go and go and do something," and then they final carrying 2 buckets of like manure, as it were, and they're like,
Oh, Marcella's not happy. She's like, oh,
yeah,
and then Chilchuck's like, that's how they do this upstairs, right?
yeah,
It's just like, yeah, it's still gross though.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's just like. But he's been keeping the toilets clean and stuff because so then after that they kind of pick up the things and make the stew.
Yep.
Or did they make the stew with the bread? I think they do because I think they go and sell it. Or they try to go and sell it.
No. No, they eat first and then they take the spare.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they're all at one point. Chilchuck says, "I'm so full, I need to take a nap."
Yeah. Ah.
I think that's the point where he's like, "Well, you do that. I got some stuff to tend to."
Yeah, I got to go and sell some stuff, but then they take it around to sell it because it was just going to waste. And he says, "Well,
yeah, because he says it's like we should." He's like, "The people I usually sell to are on the lower floors."
mm-hmm.
So we might not see anyone to actually get rid of this. We might just have to get rid of it.
Yeah, but,
and like Laios has got like carrots hanging about his suit of armor, and
yeah,
Chilchuck's hoarding potatoes.
Yeah, I've not scheduled to meet him yet, so we probably won't meet him.
Yeah,
so they go to some
pretty good.
dodgy bar, sell some goods, and the guy is like, "Oh, what you want?" It's like, "Oh, we're here to sell." "Oh, nice. What you got?"
Oh,
vegetables.
Very good. And then his face changes immediately
Yeah, it's like,
into, "What? You can't be selling vegetables.
You got to be gold, man. Gold." It's like, what?
Do you know what gold is?"
Yeah, because the narrator basically says, "Oh, there's people down here. It's just not allowed back up for reasons and stuff." And anyway, so basically getting a big argument with the bartender, and then suddenly someone gets a spear through their face.
Oh, through their is it through their face or through their midriff?
It's probably the midriff.
I thought it was like from the perspective of someone who was shorter. There's just all of a sudden a huge spear. It's like, oh, there's a lot of people getting speared in these ones.
Yeah, as you find an orc party is kind of taking it, and basically anyone that picked up a weapon was killed because kill everyone that's got a weapon. And Linus was like, "Oh, I got a thing," and Sanji was like, "No, Senshi." Even it's like, "No, don't do that." And then they basically says, "Wait, don't tell me that these are your trading buddies." It's like, maybe.
Yep, that's them. It is the kind of best bit about that is that there's a good 30 to 40 seconds of just orc murder.
Yeah,
where like they're just killing everyone in that bar,
Yeah.
including the guy who talked to them at the door. He's like trapped in the corner, and they're just stabbing him on the ground. And the guy comes over and he's like, "Yep, that's everyone dead now."
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, wow.
Yeah. And then start raiding the bar, essentially the CD place, and there's like a jar of things. Oh, this thing's smelly. I'll better just chuck
I
it.
think, yeah, it must have gone off. He's, and then they get interrupted because he's like, the head orc, whose name I think is Zon.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Look, we like you, Senshi, but," and he's like, "So hey, we're gonna need to take your veg." And he's like, "Oh, what do you got to trade?" And he's like, "We like you, but we're not trading. We're telling you we're gonna take the veg. Times are hard. We've been bullied out of our home by a red dragon."
Mm-hmm.
And after that revelation, Senshi's like, yes, okay, just do me one favor then. And then he turns around and he goes, "And you," and points at the guy. It's like, "Give me that damn jar. Don't throw that out."
Yeah. Yeah, it's really excited. So I'm going to make some bread. Bread.
Oh my god,
bread.
I've been waiting for this episode. I can make bread with it. Bread.
Yeah, this is where they're basically get taken away by the orcs to their temporary abode and locked up in like what looks to me, it's like a pen, but like I'm just thinking it's like a bit Rugrats pen style. Because it's just the gate.
Yeah.
Where they just get locked in that the gate pen thing.
Yeah, it does look like that actually.
And then essentially is just.
In fact, you know what? My wife said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the bit where it's just like, why are they like just like jumping over that?
Yeah.
It's like where you might keep a dog or a hamster or something.
Yeah. Well, I think they had. Did have livestock.
The chicken.
In there was
I
chickens.
was gonna say there was chickens in it at one point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely chickens there. But it's just Senshi is there holding onto the bar and going, "I want to make bread. Look, you got flour and stuff. We're going to make some bread." And then he just like chants bread for like a minute, and then
he chants bread for so long. They're like, "Oh my god, please give him the stuff to make bread."
Yeah. Right, they throw like two big bags of flour in his face.
Yeah, this is also pretty great because we have like the arguments between Zon and Marcel of like who's to blame for like the problems that happened on the above ground, which is this like really heated argument about the murder and pillaging and things like that would happen, and whether who was just defending themselves and whatnot. But it keeps getting interrupted by Senshi going, "Then you pick up the bread and hit it off the side," and he just like keeps coming in with bread tips in between this like really heated argument, and it's so funny.
Yeah, he's just like, it's like every time when it's really going to get serious, he just jumps in. Better jump in about some bread tips.
But the thing is I don't think he's even that cognizant of it. I think he's just really interested in talking about the bread. But it's the fact that each of them sort of like go to their corners and they're like,
yeah. And then Zon gets in the action of needing the bread too. He had his own
like angrily smacking the bread off of the pan.
Yeah.
And then like Senshi makes this like amazing bread in his pan, and Zon's like, "Well, thanks for making the bread." He's like, "But wait," and he's like, "No, we told you could make it.
Yeah.
We didn't tell you could eat it."
Yeah.
Aww.
But his Zon's kids there, it's like, we've all made it. Let's eat it together. It's like,
who is adorable.
Yeah. He asked Zon asked Linus about the rule. It was like, you just want to be like get the king and become the king. King of the.
If you beat is it like the sorcerer at the heart of this dungeon, you can become the ruler.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I've heard that rumor too." He just kind of sits on it for a bit, and then later on he sort of reveals it's like, I'm really just here to get my sister.
Yeah,
So if you could tell me about where that red dragon is, I'd appreciate it.
yeah. And then he gives him the look, and he's like, "All right, those eyes ain't lying to me," type thing, and
Yeah.
like pulls out a map. This is after they had their meal with the bread, because
It's kind of a nice moment actually, like the everyone, because obviously like the things about it is that they're not happy about humans and elves being in the vicinity.
well,
Like none of the orc people are particularly thrilled about it. They're all like, "Oh, look at these creatures."
yeah, well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
The,
because the wars and
they got
the massacres.
and they got chased down into the dungeon.
Yes,
4 people came down, and then people came down and started killing them again. So
which is basically all Marcel and Zon are arguing about
yeah,
is who caused this and whose fault it is.
and they would go off and do raiding parties and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice. They all break bread together. They eat.
Mm-hmm.
I think the basilisk bacon makes an appearance in this episode at some point. The last of it.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And yeah, they eat, as you say. Like the once they finish the meal, he gives them the map. And you're like, well, we're gonna go and kill this dragon.
Yeah.
And that'll let you back in. He's like, and I won't tell anyone where you are, about your village. Like,
Yeah.
I'll never say anything.
Yep.
So
I was given the.
Does he not ask him at some point what he would do if he's like the ruler?
Yeah, he does say that to him. Like, he could do it too, you know, type thing. Because he was like, I hate your adventurers. You're all the same, type thing. I was like,
he's like, if you think you're right for this, why don't you just do it?
Yeah. That's it. And then he shuts up.
Yeah, he's not thrilled about that.
And kid gets a chicken.
Yep.
I think at the end.
No, it's a cabbage at the end.
Oh yeah, because Marcel goes, you know that cabbage is growing back of a golem.
Yep. He's like,
oh,
what? But it's the bit where they're all like stood at the door, kind of saying their goodbyes, and the kid just goes ha ha and holds a head of cabbage above his head.
A head of cabbage above his head.
Because my wife said, it's like, I thought for a minute like he just lifted his t-shirt. It's like, it did look a bit like that. It's like, no, he's just holding a cabbage up for some reason.
Yeah, thanks for the food, I suppose. Yeah.
But everyone seemed to leave the situation a little bit wiser, a little less full of hatred.
Yeah, towards them at least.
Yeah, and so now they're heading further down into the dungeon. I think 2 floors down. It says on the wiki page that they're heading for the 5th floor, basically.
Yeah. Aye. And that's the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Got there.
This is a good one.
Yeah. I forgot about the bit. Where was it? Is it when they're getting marched down the stairs and Senshi's still on about his bread and Zon turns around and is like, shut up, you savages. There's something, they would start arguing and he basically yelled at them calling them savages. And it's like, oh, alright, orcs call them savages. Or is that when he threw the bread at him? Probably when he threw the bread.
Might have been when he threw the bread at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also quite funny.
Still
good stuff.
Yeah.
This is a really good episode. I really, really like this one.
Yeah.
What's your rating, Colin?
Rating. I'm going to continue at 8, man.
I think this one's a 9 for me.
A 9, yeah.
Yeah, this is really, really good. Like this, it had a lot of decent stuff. It had the good cooking. It furthered the plot. It had some really interesting sort of like narrative devices between and like introducing of different characters and different races of characters as well, and the kind of quarrels between them, and the golem stuff is really awesome.
Yeah,
it's just a very clever and thoughtful episode, I think.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely a good fun time and all.
Yeah. Very much enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of like to kind of see the series and then work out probably where it lies. I think this is how my rating system is going into my head at the moment.
I think like my this is not normally my vibe. Like in terms of like when I choose to watch something, this isn't typically it.
Mm-hmm.
But the art style is very cool too. Like I like the way it's drawn. I
Yeah.
think the voice cast are excellent as well. Like they're very endearing. They all work really really well. And on top of that, like the characters are fun.
Yeah.
They're nuanced, bit stereotypical, obviously within sort of the different parts of it, but like the conceit is really clever as well. So
Mm-hmm.
all kind of all comes together, I think, to make something really really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see where it goes because it seems to me like we're making some headway here, and unless we get like really caught up finding the sister, doesn't feel like that's going to be the end of this series.
No, maybe not. Maybe it is all about getting to the point where they can eat all the monsters in the dungeon.
Maybe. So yeah, like it's definitely interesting, and I
Oh,
like. Oh, go on.
just like Yajirobe.
Yeah, yeah. Just to clarify, at one point, Yajirobe did in fact want to eat Vegeta.
Maybe he certainly
He did.
certainly uh was it Carrot? What was the name of the Pickles minion?
Symbol.
Symbol. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Him, didn't he?
He did eat Symbol, and then I think he also wanted to eat Pickle. He wanted to eat a lot of people.
He did. He did.
He's a monster.
Yes.
But yeah, that is us for this episode, and we'll be back next time. So until then, you have been listening to Who's That Anime, an anime podcast about anime, which can be found where all good podcasts can be found. Our home is at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. If you like what it is we do, then leaving a review would be great. Or if you can't do that, already have, telling a friend is another great way. If you want to support us financially, you can do. Right now, we're not supporting the Patreon in that way because we're obviously a little bit behind.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably make some decisions on what to do there in the future. But I feel like if you still want to support us, you can. And that's at patreon.com/Who's That Anime. That typically comes with earlier access to episodes for Who's That Anime, this podcast, and our companion podcast, 5 Minute Fusion, A Journey Through Dragon Ball. It's all good fun for all of those. We also have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Who's That Anime, where we post the latest episode releases. Also, we have a Discord group. You can find the link to that in the show notes. And we have a YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@Who's That Anime. This is where Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of these episodes. And if you like to listen to your podcast on YouTube, you can, because the RSS feeds for Who's That Anime and 5 Minute Fusion are also found there. And that's us.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. One episode under the bag. Many more to go.
Many, many more.
All hail Starscream. All hail Starscream. That's Steve's t-shirt.
What did he say his name was again? That's Galvatron.
Oh God.
Galvatron.
All hail Galvatron. All hail Galvatron.
That's the I could quote that movie till I'm blue in the face, but still, genuinely, one of the greatest things in movie history for me is Galvatron rocking up at Starscream's coronation as the leader of the Decepticons, and Starscream saying, "Who dares interrupt my coronation?" And Galvatron says, "Coronation, Starscream. This is bad comedy."
Yeah. Good old Laron Leroy, man.
Just before he fucking murks him as well.
Yeah, he just transforms his cannon and he like disintegrates. I love how
he says, "Megatron, is that you?" And he says, "Here's a hint." and then he shoots him. It's so good. Like, there's so much snappy dialogue in that movie. I love it.
I love how the fact that the energy of like Galvatron guns always just like change. Like
Oh yeah, it's all over the shop.
Starscream just got annihilated, like ashed in that.
Yep.
But like he's shot like a few things and nothing else has turned to ash.
No, not quite like that. No,
No.
that was quite something. Also, another great moment in that does involve Starscream and Megatron, where Megatron is voted as not. He needs to be lightened the load and thrown off of Astro Train,
Yeah.
and Starscream picks him up and holds him at the door to Astro Train. And he's like, "Please, I still function." Starscream just says, "Want a bet?" and drops him.
Yeah, Starscream, the megalomania that he is.
Oh, it's so good. Like, oh god, there's so much good dialogue in that movie, and a lot of it is Starscream.
It's terrible. 80s dialogue, man.
Oh, he's like 100% my favorite. Between like, I love a lot of the characters, but Soundwave and Starscream are two of my absolute favorites.
Yeah. Starscream.
Yeah, like Starscream's amazing.
Yeah.
Soundwave's great as well. You know, with the whole him being the leader.
Yeah.
What is it? They say it's Constructicons inferior, Soundwave superior.
Yeah.
And then he says nobody would follow an uncharismatic bore like you, and nobody calls Soundwave uncharismatic. Is also a great line. Like I could just go through the script.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Oh, I've watched that movie so many times.
Yeah.
My youngest son has a T-shirt that says Soundwave Superior on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And he also has like a T-shirt of Wheeljack holding out like a Bunsen burner and shouting science, which is pretty great also.
A Bunsen burner shouting science.
Yeah, it became a Christmas tradition that I would get the kids a Transformers T-shirt.
Okay.
And my eldest son got an Ultra Magnus one that said, "I can't deal with that right now," which is also just great.
Isn't that's not the line that he says just before he gets shot by Galvatron?
I can't deal with that right now. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the context of that is because it's been a little while since I watched it. But yeah, like I can hear Robert Stack saying it.
Yeah, there you go. That's my point as well, though, because Galvatron does surely transfer into this cannon for that shot as well. And shoots on.
He does it. Does he shoot? No, it's not Galvatron that shoots him. It's Cyclonus and the sweeps blast him to bits.
All right, is it Cyclonus? Is it?
I think so. It's the bit where he stood in front of the mountain of junk on the Junkion planet.
Yeah.
And he gets shot to pieces.
Because Galvatron's inside them. I'm sure he jumps out of them. Does he?
Maybe he does shoot him as well. It's I can't remember that bit. Because he does go and pick up the Matrix of Leadership from him because it pops out of his chest.
Yeah. Oh no, it falls out of his hands because he's trying to open it. Like, Optimus, you said this is.
He said this would light our darkest hours.
Darkest hours. This is our darkest hour. We really need to.
Please don't let me die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Ultra Magnus. He's just a soldier.
Yeah, he's just a soldier. Just didn't get the. You got the touch.
Oh, what a tune! Originally written for the Sylvester Stallone movie Cobra.
Cobra.
Yeah.
And then it got reused, or they just didn't get into Cobra.
It never was in that.
Why was it being that one?
I don't know why it was that. It was originally written for the Sylvester Stallone film Cobra. Yeah, I thought that.
All right. That's weird.
The song was inspired by a line in the movie Iron Eagle. Thing is I love the song, The Touch, great song. Not the best Stan Bush song on the Transformers soundtrack.
Oh no. Which is what is
Dare.
Dare?
Dare is amazing.
Not Dare to be Stupid.
No, Dare to be Stupid is the Weird Al Yankovic song.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
Now, Dare is the one that plays when Hot Rod is and Daniel are driving up to see the ship come in over the hill
Oh yeah.
at Lookout Mountain.
Yeah, at Lookout Mountain.
Yeah.
Quality name
Yeah.
for mountain.
He's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe at some point I'll just do a solo rambling about the Transformers movie and post that.
And I'll just sit here and nod.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
As we dissect the movie line by line.
Yeah. That could be the thing. Anyway, on that note, it's probably a good time to say we'll catch you next time. Same time, place, same time. Well, for now, anyway. Bye.
Bye, folks.